Welcome to the Boxing Bookie. We are back. It is good to be back. Want to get into just what are the best bets of the week. This is a extremely busy weekend. So there's a lot. There's three big cards with lots of fights, lots of good action on these three cards. So there's a lot that we can bet on. I want to just isolate a few that I think are the best, and we'll get into that. But before we do, guys, if you're not already a member, join the Patreon. I just put the link below. Get the lock of the week. The lock of the week is already out. If you join now, you'll get the lock of the week, and you can start making money every single week. The lock, we don't miss with the lock. The lock hits every single week for the most part. All right, so join that. Also, subscribe to the other channel, Texas Boxing Scene on YouTube. That's Texas Boxing Scene. All proceeds go to autism research and recovery. So, like I was saying, there is a lot going on this week. There's three major cards. It kicks off in the UK with the Bill Smith and Rockapel card, which is an interesting fight. And I like the odds on this because I don't think there's any way Rockapel doesn't win this fight. I really like this. I think that's one of your better bets. I think a one-time bet on that is safe. I think it hits. So let me pull this up for y'all so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm using DraftKings on this. I don't know what book you're using, but I'm sure the odds are all going to be pretty similar on all your major books. Rockapel is a good athlete. He's a good boxer. He's a lot better. He's a lot more complete than Bill Smith. So yeah, I like him to win. I think he possible stoppage, but I think a stoppage is unlikely. I think this goes the distance. I think Rockapel, just like in the first fight, wins a decision. I think it's why. I think he's improved more than Bill Smith. I think Bill Smith is more of a complete finished product. You know, he is what he is. He's strong as an ox. He's come forward. He's slow. He gets hit a lot. And which, makes me think maybe it could be a knockout, but that guy is super tough and super durable. So I do believe this thing goes the distance. I absolutely think this thing ends up going the distance. Hey, my boy Connor. What's up, Connor? My boy Connor is here. Show love. Check out Connor on NY Flight Jets Talk. Check him out. That is my dude, Connor. One of the good guys. He's going to be helping me out a little bit on my Nets podcast as well. I'm starting a Nets podcast called Nothing But Nets, which will premiere after the finals, probably in about a week or so as we get up to the drafts. But let me get back to this. Bill Smith is his head is. Hey, Rocket dropping by. What's up, champ? I pray we all get that bag tomorrow. Gary, what 5 fights parlay do you think I should pick? Let's get it, guys. I'm gonna go over that with you, Rocket. I got some fights starred that I'm gonna take a look at. I appreciate you. I appreciate the $20 super chat. It's much appreciated. I'm gonna get into that in a second. When is Nothing But Net? So I'm gonna start after the finals. I'm gonna be in New York, Connor, for Jake's thing this week. So I'm probably going to start it the week after I get back. So probably about a week and a half from now. But I want to touch base with you because I want you to be on the first live stream. I want you to be a part of that. So we can chop up the Nets. And the Nets Mark just said he's not trading Bridges, or he's turned down a bunch of trades involving Bridges. So I want to get into that as well. I appreciate that, Connor and Rocket. Of course, the love is greatly appreciated. All right. So, without any further ado, let's get into the locks this week. The bets I really like. What's up, Muscle? Oh, wow. We in the building. I didn't even see that, Russell. Muscle's here. We in the building. Appreciate you. Well, we got a bunch of the familiar guys here. All right. So here's a bunch of fights that I like. And Rocket, I appreciate it. Let's put a parlay together. Let's put a parlay together, and we'll come up with something that makes the most sense. I know you like to really put your balls on the table and get a crazy parlay. Let's take a look at this, and you tell me what you like the best. But here are some locks that I like a lot. Rockapel on the money line, minus 240. Matias versus Paro, minus 450 to go the distance. I definitely think this thing does not go the distance, which doesn't pay that well. Surprisingly, it's a minus 450, but I think that's a pretty safe bet. I love Gary Antoine Russell on the money line. I love Benavidez on the money line. Benavidez by stoppage, I think, is an interesting one too. Javante on the money line. I'm sorry, Javante on the prop. Javante by stoppage, I would take. Or, and you tell me how crazy y'all want to get, Frank Martin by decision. Frank Martin by decision. Look, it's plus 750, meaning if the fight happened 8.5 times, I think Frank Martin would win by a decision just once. Those are crazy odds. You guys know that I love Frank Martin by decision. Now, I'm not saying he's going to win by decision. I'm saying those odds, the odds that you have. Frank Martin, classic power boxer, great skills, great speed, great reflexes, decent pop, enough pop to hurt you, enough pop to drop you, enough pop to gain your respect. Southpaw, stays out of line of Javante straight left and the left uppercut. I think Frank Martin could. Now, where am I on this fight? I'm 55% certain Gervonta Davis stops him, and I'm 45% certain Frank Martin wins the decision. If you're 45% sure on something, and they're giving you plus 750, guys, it's worth it. Now, you might not want to put that in your parlay, right? Because it's a risk, and it could mess up. But if you want to put a side bet, if you want to put what you're going to win on your parlay, put it on. Look, here's how I like to operate. I like to, and Muscles can attest to this. I like to put together a safe parlay, right? Hit, bang. Like Benavidez, Matias, and Gary Russell. That's a parlay. What I make from that, I know I'm going to hit on that. Take that and apply it to something I think is a little bit risky, but could pay off. So I would take the money I make on that parlay and then apply the winnings to Frank Martin by stoppage. Either I'm going to break even, all right, nothing gained, nothing lost. Or, boy, I'm going to have a week. Boy, we're all eating steak. All right, that's what I like to do. All right, Muscles Brown, let me get to some of these. Muscles Brown says, let me know too, bro, what other 2 fights can I add for tomorrow with Matias, Benavidez, and Russell? Well, let's look at that in a second. Let me get the rest of these. I'll pull that up. New York Flight Talk. I have some Nets player agents I have already talked to you about the interview. Bang! Bang! My guy Connor. This is my dude right here. Connor is a 12-year-old child prodigy. He's like a boy genius. He's the Doogie Howser of sports talk. This guy is incredible. He's 12. He's a genius. I mean, I don't even know. There aren't enough superlatives and adjectives to describe this kid. He's a Jets fan like I am, and he's just a blessing to Jets Nation. Like he's a gift to Jets Nation. And fortunately for me, he's a Nets fan too. Rocky, my man, what's up, champ? Muscles Brown says, is it better to live bet the Tank fight separate from the 3 pick? Look, Muscles, Tank Davis is so hard to bet on because it's just the end comes so quick, right? Like he's such a hard guy. I know it's Tank and he's exciting. It's a big fight and everyone wants to bet on this. Live betting on Tank is tough, right? Because he's losing, and then he wins. It's just over in a second. I don't know. No, I don't love live betting on Tank because, like I said, he ends things so quickly and so suddenly. His timing and his power, he's a mini Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's in a fight, is he going to get the knockout? You know what I'm saying? You know what? Text me during that fight. We'll make a game time decision on that, Muscles. He's a tough guy. He's a tough guy, bro. He's a tough guy to bet on because he is so explosive and his timing and power. So, but what says, what's up, Gary? You excited for some? I am amped for tomorrow. Tomorrow is one of the best fight days of the year. I am amped for tomorrow. Like I am super. Tomorrow is one of the best days of boxing. Give me 1 second. I gotta fix something real quick right here. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, y'all. I just had to update something on my video. All right. I am amped for tomorrow, but what? Victor Valdez. Sir, Victor Valdez says, sir, don't waste your money on Frank. I don't think it's a waste. Victor, I'm curious. Put in the chat. Give me a percentage chance. What percent chance do you think Frank Martin has of winning that fight? Because I say he's got a 45% chance of winning that fight. I'm only slightly favoring Tank to stop him. New York Flight Talk says, thank you, Gary. Appreciate it. No, I thank you, sir. Thank you. We're going to eat. Everyone's eating. We're eating steak, lobster, Heineken, you guys name it. Thank you, Gary, for this chat. Oh, guys, this is what I'm here for. Muscles Brown. Yeah, I'll text you during the fight live tomorrow, Jay. I appreciate you. I was interested in what Victor had to say. What Victor Valdez had to say about me, about Frank Martin. Frank Martin, I know he's not coming off a best fight, and I understand that performance wasn't his best. It wasn't good. Derek James, everyone in his camp had a horrible, miserable performance at that time. Ryan Garcia, Errol Spence, all of them. All of them. I was in that camp. I was around them. I saw the chaos that was going in that camp. Jamel Charlo, too. Jamel Charlo, Tank, Errol Spence, Ryan Garcia, they're all fighting in and around that time. Camp was horrible for all of them. Derek James was overworked, right? He didn't have enough guys in the camp. He doesn't have Robert Garcia's help. He doesn't have Pito and all those guys in the gym with him. It's just him and his brother, and his brother's not a fighter. And it was so bad. They had to take Errol Spence out of the camp and bring him to Vegas for fight week with Frank Martin just to get him out of Dallas and get him around something else. So, look, Frank Martin's last performance wasn't good. If your guys are betting he's going to replicate that performance, then yes, he's going to get knocked the hell out by Tank Davis for sure. But I think that was the aberration. I think that was the bad performance. I think this performance this week is going to be vintage Frank Martin, what we're used to. And Tank Davis gives rounds away. He gives rounds away. He does it every fight. And look, it doesn't matter because he gets the knockout. Right? The only time he didn't get the knockout was Isaac Cruz. And what did he have to do in the 12th round of that Isaac Cruz fight? He had to sit back, box him, and win the rounds off his back foot. Now, he was able to do it. But two things. Frank Martin and Isaac Cruz are not the same. And I don't think Isaac Cruz sucks. He's just, you can outbox Isaac Cruz. Tank Davis can't outbox Frank Davis and Frank Martin. And Tank Davis can outbox a lot of guys. Frank Martin sure as hell ain't one of them. So if Tank Davis gets behind on the cards, which he will because he gives rounds away. This is not Isaac Cruz. This is not Mario Barrios. This is a guy who's a better pure boxer than him, who's quicker, with quicker reflexes, with longer arms, who can stay at range and hit him where you can't hit him, right? Barrios is slow. He can just get inside on Barrios, and once he figured out the timing, he dominated that fight, right? He dropped a bunch of times and he got the stoppage. Isaac Cruz isn't that much taller, that much longer than him, and he's a better boxer than Isaac Cruz. He's not a better boxer than Frank Martin. He's not quicker or longer than Frank Martin. So Frank Martin has a natural advantage. He's longer and taller, and he's quicker. So he can keep him at bay. I'm not saying that he can't win. Yes, Tank Davis can win. Tank Davis's power and speed is freakish. It's unique. But if there's a style that can beat him, it's Frank Martin. Frank Martin is an A+ fighter, guys. He really is. Victor says, I think he has a 10% chance. Okay, then we just disagree on that, Victor, right? So if I was you and I thought he had 10% chance, you're right. I wouldn't waste my money. I think he's got a 45% chance of winning the fight. I really do. Something tells me Tank starts fast and gets him out of there in 6. Victor, it's extremely possible. Like I said, that power can come at any time. Anytime. He can come in the first round. He can come in the 12th round or anywhere in between. Like, he's that special. I like, you guys think I'm sitting here trashing on Tank Davis. No, Tank Davis is a beast. All right. Frank, not the best trash talker at all. Needs to step up his trash talk. I like a good trash talking too, but to me, as a fighter, it never affected me. Like, look, guys, we're gonna have to fight. So you can talk all your trash and it's fine. But what's the point? We're gonna fight anyway. Like I promise you, we're gonna fight. So all this trash talk to me is just silly because we're gonna get in the ring, we're gonna figure it out. Right? We're gonna fight. So what's the point of trash talking? Yes, you don't have to lure me into a fight. You don't have to get underneath my skin to get into a fight. We're gonna fight. I'm gonna fight you. So I mean, do all your trash talking, but it's gonna be to no avail because trash talk or not, we're gonna fight on Saturday. So it's what it is. But yeah, no, Frank Martin is not the best. Frank Martin is a nice guy, polite guy, really friendly, cool dude. I like him a lot. No, but what is right? He's not a trash talker. Yeah, and you know, like they used to say the same thing about Holyfield. Holyfield wasn't a trash talker. How did Holyfield do in the ring? He did all right. He held his own, right? You know, no, I agree. The press conferences, I agree 100%. They're going to be the Tank Davis shows. And that's good because Tank is the better salesman, right? Like Tank is better at selling the fight anyway. So let Tank sell the fight. Let Tank sell the tickets. Look, and guys, I'm telling you, a 55% chance I think Tank Davis wins this fight. 55%. 45% Frank Martin. So my gut is just leaning ever so closely towards Tank Davis. But at plus 750, I think Frank Martin by points. Oh man, I like that. Man, I like that a lot. Or if you don't, then take Frank. Like, does anyone see Tank Davis winning a decision? Does anyone see that happening? Like him going the distance and winning? I can't see it. He gives away too many rounds and he can't outbox him. So he'd have to knock him down 3 or 4 times. And Tank Davis doesn't knock you down 3 or 4 times. He finishes you quickly. He finishes you real quickly. Barrios was able to withstand because Barrios is huge and tough as hell, right? Like, but a normal guy, a normal lightweight, you know, Barrios is a big welterweight. That's why he was able to withstand a little more punishment. A lightweight gets hit like that, it's over, right? So, you know, I can't just. It's either Tank Davis by knockout or Frank Martin wins a decision, and whatever way you're leaning, bet the house on that. All right, I wanted to get into this with Muscles. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, Muscle likes a safe parlay like I do. And my boy Muscles just got banned from DraftKings in New Hampshire because we win every week. I'm not capping either. He got banned from the casino because of my locks that he wins every week. It is what it is. All right, can you see this, Muscles? Dan Aziz, good bet. Minus 3,000, not going to make you a ton of money, but a good lock. Stay away from this thing. Chamberlain and Macy, I don't like this thing at all. Stay away from this. You know, Rickapoo on the money line, I like it a lot. It's probably not a lock. But I like it a lot. Cintrone on the money line, minus 3,000. Again, that's a lock. Elijah Garcia against Kieran Davis. I don't like the odds. I think minus 1,800 is ridiculous. But Elijah Garcia is going to win that fight. Angel Fierro, definitely going to win. Minus 500. I like this a lot. I like it a lot. This Mark Magsayo, look, I like Magsayo. He's so flawed, but so good. Stay away from this. Don't touch this. I know the odds are pretty good. Magsayo's probably going to win, but he might get knocked out in the first round. Like, that's how I feel about Magsayo. Like, yeah, he's probably going to win, but when he gets flattened in the first round because he's so bad defensively, you're like, I told you so, Gary. So, look, there's so much to bet on. cross this off your list. I know it's sexy. I know this is staring at you. And he's probably going to win. I'm probably, you should just bet on it. Stay away. Here's a low-key great fight to bet on. Yankel Rivera. Sandoval's a step up. He certainly is. Right? Hang on. Let me. I want to pull up their box rec, right? Because how old is Sandoval? I want to pull this up. Yeah. Hang on. Let me stop sharing this. I want to share his box rec real quick. He's 26. And he just lost to Ricardo Sandoval. I can't see, like, you look at him, he's not a bad fighter. And he's only 26. Yankel Rivera, I get he's just 5-0. I get it. But he's a special fighter. Now, this is a challenge. This is definitely a step up. This is the first, but like you look at a fight like this. Fernando Diaz, that's a decent fighter. He got destroyed. Christian Robles and Andy Dominguez, undefeated prospects, both got destroyed. I like this to end. I really do. I think if you want to add something that doesn't pay too badly, Yankel Rivera at -360 against a game opponent. Yes, a good opponent. But Yankel Rivera is special. Yankel Rivera is special. I like this a lot, Muscles. Yankel Rivera at -360. I like it a lot. This one, Carlos Adames. I like Adames to win. I don't think it's going to be by stoppage. Goucher is defensively responsible. He doesn't get hit a ton. I just think he gets overwhelmed. I Adames on points on that, so I wouldn't touch the over under on that. And then we talked about this. I like the fight not to go the distance. More than Matias is going to win a fight. Matias is going to win a fight for sure. So you put Matias on your money line, but a bet I really like is does the fight go the distance? No, the fight does not go the distance. Yeah. That's a really good idea, Son of Apollo. That's a good idea. Everyone, Son of Apollo has a great idea. Everyone, hit the like button, fellas. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, guys. I appreciate that. So, like, those are some of the bets I like, Muscles. If you that was Suleiman Matias on the money line. What was your original bet? What did you say it was? Matias, Benavidez, and Russell. If you want to add one, Matias, Benavidez, and Russell. Adames would be a good one to add. And, we could put Elijah Garcia in there. You could do that. I would just stay away. In the big fights, I'd stay away from Mixayo. I'd feel comfortable with you adding Yankel Rivera. I think that's a fine bet. I think you could add Centrone. I think you could add anything like that. You could add Ben Whitaker. I know we talked about you adding Ben Whitaker too. I think that's safe. It just depends how much risk you want to take, and what do you want to bring the odds down to? I know obviously as low as possible, but the lower you bring them down, the more risk that's going to involve. So those are the bets that I like. The ones I like to make money on. Obviously, since trying at -4,000, there's not a ton of money to be made there. For a little action, Yankel Rivera. Suleiman Matias. So to answer, I also wanted to answer Rocket. Yo, Rocket asked me, what else would I add to the parlay? Rocket, you like Tank by stoppage, right? That's what you like. What if you parlay this? Tank by stoppage, Gary Russell Jr. on the money line, Yanquiel Rivera on the money line, and Paro Matias not to go the distance. What would that calculate? Can someone pull the parlay calculator? But what would be the odds on that on that far away parlay? Let me try to figure it out real quick. Let me try to figure this out for you. Yanquiel Rivera on the money line. Let me try to figure this out for you. Rocket wants to know if I would take the over for Benavidez and Suru Matias. Benavidez, I might take the over. Suru Matias, I'm not touching the over under. That thing is going to be an explosion. I feel like that might end. It might be a fight of the year and end in 5 rounds. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't touch the over under on that fight. It could go 8. But it might end quick too. So I would take the under if anything, but I wouldn't bet that. All good bets in an accumulator. Hang on. I'm going to calculate the parlay. Gary Antoine Russell, we said, was minus 700. We said Tank Davis by stoppage is minus 180. So, guys, just those 3 bets. Rocket. Yanquiel Rivera, Gary Russell Jr., and Tank Davis by stoppage gives you plus 127. I'll share that with y'all. What else? How big do you want this parlay? Like what look, I want to show this to you guys. So $100 bet. 360 is minus Yanquiel Rivera money line, minus 700 Gary Russell Jr. on the money line, minus 180 is Tank Davis by stoppage. That'll win you plus 127. You want something better than that? Like how crazy? You tell me, Rocket. How crazy do you want to go with this? You know what I'm saying? We can keep adding to this. There are more things that I would be happy to add to this. Oh, and then we wanted to take Paro and Matias not to go the distance was minus 450. We're at plus 178. Is that good enough? Is that good enough for you, Rocket? Tell me, pal. You want a 6-fight parlay? You want 6? Let me get this. We got Bubble checking in. Says, "What's up, chat? I'm here taking notes." Right, looks like this. I didn't see the weigh-in. Does he look bad? Does he look bad? I didn't see it. I'm guessing everyone made weight. Otherwise, I would have gotten noticed. Did Frank Martin look bad in the weigh-in? Look, that could be a sign. It could be nothing. A lot of guys drain themselves, and then put it all back on and they're fine. Some guys can't. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. I know you want to bet. You want to add that to the parlay, Rocket. You want to put the stoppage, the round. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. I just like a little bit safer. Like this bet right here that I gave you. This, what is this? 4 legs? Yeah, it's 4 legs. It's 4-leg parlay I gave you. It's plus 180. What else do I want to add to it? If I'm going to add to this, I'm going to add I would add Aziz by stoppage, which is minus 165. And what would be the last leg I would add to this parlay? Oh, Benavidez at minus 650. So that parlay right there, that 6-leg parlay, Rocket, that would pay you plus 415. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, isn't it? For a 6-leg parlay, plus 415. Yeah, he looks bad. Tank on stoppage. Tank on stage doing backflips. Yeah, Tank has no problem making 35. Everyone's like, oh, he should go to 140. Why? He's putting weight clauses, rehydration clauses on people at 35, which means he has no problem making 35, which means he could probably still make 30. So why is he going up to 40? That's Bubble, says Rocket. I know you are. Look, you're asking me. I'm obviously a lot more conservative of a better than you are, which is fine, right? When you hit, bro. So like, I don't hate it, but you're asking me, right? You're asking a conservative gambling advisor what I would do. I would play a little safer. I can tell you who's going to win. I can tell you how they're going to win, what you want to do with it, how you want to roll the dice on it. Here's why I love Rocket. Rocket will go up to a dice game and say, I got to roll a 6. And they'll be like, well, what do you mean you have to roll a 6? And Rocket will be like, I got to roll a 6. Well, what if you don't roll a 6? No, I'm going to roll a 6, right? That's Rocket. Like, I love it. Rocket is a gunslinger gambler's mentality. Like, I love Rocket. I'm going to go with you on this bet, Rocket. Tank Davis, my 8th round stoppage. Let's go. Let's go. What's Frank's best attribute? His long-range skills, his jab, and his straight left from the outside, and his speed. His speed and his footwork. He does not stand in front of you, and he can hit you with the straight left. He can jab, and hit you with the straight left. So Frank's best attribute is really his reflexes, but we'll call it his quickness and his long-range sniper skills, right? He's really, really good from the long range, and he's really, really quick. So he can hit you and just be out of the way. Hit you and just be out of the way, right? Like he's constantly, when he hits you, he's in position not to be hit and return. He's in position not to be countered. And when he slides, he's in position to throw again. So it's his footwork and his reflexes with his long-range accuracy. Oh, okay. Bubble makes a good point. I don't think Frank can fight going backwards. Yeah, a lot of people think Frank's a back foot fighter. He's not. I mean, I don't think, he's going to be circling. It's a fair point, Bubble. But I can show you. We can go look at the video. At some tape. He can fight going backwards. But you're right. That's not his strong suit. He's a power boxer. No risk, no reward. I like it, guy. Hey, Rocket, you're my favorite gambler on this thing, man. Like, you really are. Maybe play Bubble. Rocket don't play it safe. Rocket don't play it safe. I'm asking a boxing encyclopedia. Is that right? I mean, okay, that makes sense. I can see that. His jab is super good. Okay. I didn't know that. Here's something you guys didn't know. Marco Antonio Barrera is actually left-handed and fought in the conventional stance. I was at an event with him and he was signing autographs. And he was signing them left-handed. I said, bro, you're left-handed? And yeah, I was. Marco Antonio Barrera is actually naturally left-handed. I had no idea. All right. If that's all we have on the questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'm gonna wrap this up soon. I'm gonna get going. But if you guys have any more super chats, any more questions, any more comments, put them in the comment section below. Otherwise, I've been going live. I've been live for 35 minutes already. I'm gonna wrap this up and get going. I'm gonna finish up. I got one more video today that I'm gonna release, and that's Adames and Goucher. I'll give you guys a little spoiler alert. I like Adames. I'll break it down. I'll explain why in the video. But I think it's a pretty good fight you can add to your parlay. I think that's safe. I think Adames. But I'm going to be dropping that video later tonight. I still have to record it. I got all my notes here. Got my notes done. So I'm going to be doing that video tonight. But other than that, guys, I appreciate it. I love y'all stopping by. Tomorrow, so I'm going to go live tomorrow after the fights. We're going to recap all the fights tomorrow night. I'll put a link in the Patreon for the Patreons. I'll put a link on Twitter. And I will be going live tomorrow after the fights to do a live immediate reaction. I will definitely have a live immediate reaction tomorrow. Finally, I put a $50 bet on Tank to win by 9th or 10th round TKO. Everyone's getting into it. Everyone's getting in on the round bets. I love it. Someone's going to hit, like if Tank does knock him out, someone's going to hit and someone's going to get paid. I love it. I love the round bets. I love people taking a chance. Like, go with something, go with a prediction and run with it. Go with it. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys. You're rubbing off on people, Rocket. Your gunslinger mentality, your gambler spirit is rubbing off on people. I love it. All right, guys. I will be back tomorrow post fight. I may even go live. The Bill Smith Rickapo fight. That's on in the U.S. at least. That's on the Peacock network, right? The Peacock stream. That's where I get that. Is that right? Guys, let me know. But I'm gonna wrap this up now. It's June 14th, 2024. From Texas to the world. Thank you and God bless.